In this video, we'll use JMP to take a look at utilizing a single row per person data set versus a frequencies data set. For the ECMO paper, there were 180 participants randomized. We were able to use 177 of those participants for their survival status. If we had been the ones to collect the data, we would have a data set with 177 rows with a column for treatment, either ECMO or conventional, and then a column for status, survived or did not survive. Without the N column, because we have one row per person, we just have their treatment and their status. And in this case, we would go ahead and go to Analyze, Fit Y by X. And because our treatment was assigned first, that will be our X, and our status was measured after our treatment was assigned, we'll assign status to Y, and we'll press OK. Now, there's something that you should take a look at and pay close attention to as to whether or not your hypotheses are set up in a way that you understand. So you can see down here, because this is a 2x2 table, our Fisher's exact has come up. And our alternative hypotheses are looking at the status of something surviving is greater for CM than ECMO. That would be our left tail. Status survived is greater for treatment ECMO than CM, or different across treatment. If you wanted to switch them or order them in a specific way, you can do that by doing value ordering. So let's close this. We'll go back to our table of data. I'm going to select the treatment group, columns, column information, and the column information window will pop up. Under column properties, I want to do value ordering. And right now they're in alphabetical order. CM is first, ECMO is second. I actually would like ECMO to be considered more important, and so I'm going to move that up and press OK. You'll notice here now on the left-hand side columns menu, there's a little asterisk next to treatment. That means value ordering has been applied. And you can always click on that and then click on value ordering to see what the order is. I'd also like to do value ordering on my status. So value ordering, and I would like survived to be the top option and press OK. Again, you can see an asterisk here, and I can click on that and click on value ordering, and it will bring up the window, and you could make that change. Now, in a 2x2 table, the order isn't necessarily as important, but when we move on to looking at larger tables or R by S tables, we'll see that it can make a difference. So now I can go back to Fit Y by X. Again, my status is my Y, my treatment is my X, and press OK. And now we're looking at the probability of not surviving for ECMO being greater than CM or not different than. But you'll notice that our p-values here and our likelihood ratio chi-square test did not change. Neither did any of our proportions, just simply the way that it appears in the table. We have ECMO and survived here rather than the other way around. So this is what it would look like if you had one row per person. So now let's create a data set for the frequencies. So I'm going to create a new data table. If you've already created this, you can simply open it. Again, in column 1, I want to have my treatment and press OK. And I'm essentially going to create a data set that mimics this contingency table. So I know that I have 4 cells, which means I need 4 rows. So I'm going to create 2 ECMO rows and 2 CM rows, conventional positive pressure. I'm going to create a status variable. And I'm going to have survived and did not survive. And then you can type those again, or you can cut and paste them. So I'm going to copy and paste. You can either use the edit menu to copy and paste, or you can use the Command C, Command V on a Mac, or Control C, Control V to paste on Windows. And now I need to create one more column. I can either do that under Create New Column in Column Info for a new column, or I can simply double click here to the right, and this is my frequency column. So I'm going to put an N here, and now I can see if I look down here in this table that I had 57 ECMO that survived. So I will put that here. And then I had 33 ECMO that did not survive. I had 41 conventional that had survived, and I had 46 that did not survive. I'm going to make sure to save this data table, and I will call this ECMO Freq, short for ECMO frequency. And now I can go ahead and fit my Y by X. But remember, I would have to make sure to put my N in the frequency column. If I don't put my N in my frequency column and just put my treatment and status in and press OK, what you can see here is I have a table that only has the count of 4. And it tells me that I have 2 conventional medicine and 2 ECMOs, and that's not correct because I didn't tell JMP that I had a count. So basically, what I would like to do here is pre-select this as a frequency. So what I need to do is select N, and I can either select it here in this menu, or I can select it here in the data table. And under columns, I want to pre-select role, and I want to select frequency. You can see then that the frequency, or the little chicken scratch or hash marks here that count to 5, have been added next to the N. I'm also going to do my value ordering here. Double click on treatment, under column properties, do value ordering. I'm going to put ECMO up and press OK. And the same thing for survival. I am going to value order, and I'm going to put survived up. JMP will bring them in alphabetical order, and it's up to you to change that order, and press OK. And now I'm going to go back to the Fit Y by X menu. You can notice now that my frequency is already pre-populated because I selected it, pre-selected that role. Status is my Y because it was measured a year later. Treatment is my X because it's my predictor. It was measured at baseline or assigned at baseline. And press OK. And what you will see here in these 2 tables, or 2 outputs from JMP, the one on the left here is from the 177 row data set. The one on the right is from the frequency data set. And we have exactly the same results. So both the frequency option here on the right and the per person data here on the left will give you identical results. The beauty of the frequency option is that you don't need to have the original data. All you need is to have the table that gives you the N per group, plus then also the survival numbers or proportions, and you can recreate the data from a publication that has categorical predictors and categorical outcomes. This will allow you to validate results that you see and to also better understand the results in papers. You could use them for pilot data or for planning your own study. But it's a very, very handy way to be able to create data from publications from other people's research.